Pittsburgh. I'm Charlene Banks, the community director, and this Sunday is Mother's Day. We have a wonderful guest speaker, that is Tamara. She's our practitioner in training, and I'm so excited that she has stepped up to be our guest speaker for the day. So, really good treats are in store, as well as Leah will be performing live here. So, we are so excited. I'm so glad that you joined us. So, please just take a moment and settle in, and we will go ahead and open our sacred space.
Please join us as we create our sacred space. We set our intentions of deepening into our awareness and practice of our 5 pillars of spiritual living by lighting this candle in our virtual world. Our first pillar is sacred study, represented by the divine quality of truth. We use this pillar to recognize the importance of an open mind and the power of our minds. The second pillar is affirmative prayer, represented by the divine quality power. This pillar honors the power of prayer in our daily lives. Our third pillar is meditation and the divine quality of peace. This pillar reminds us of the importance of meditation and the peace we feel when we quiet our minds. The fourth pillar is circulation and the divine quality of life. We know that the great law of circulation works in our lives. As we give, so shall we receive. And the fifth pillar is sacred service and the divine quality of love. This pillar affirms our call to be of service to our world as we see through the eyes of love. Let us close our eyes as we bless this sacred space and our time together. As we weave each of these pillars of spiritual living into our service today, may they deepen our own spiritual practices of study, prayer, meditation, circulation, and service, expanding our minds and our hearts to the 5 divine qualities of truth, power, peace, life, and love. We also bless everyone who made our service possible today and everyone in attendance. May the energy of love that is generated here bless everyone abundantly, and so it is.
Yes, and so it is. And so we are about to go into that meditation time. I just want to let you know that if you have any prayer requests that are going to be spoken toward the end of the talk, feel free to type them into the chat, whether you're on the Facebook chat or YouTube, or if you're on our website or in Zoom. We would love to pray for you. If you don't have a moment to type into the chat window, please feel free to take some time and go to our website, cslleesburg.org, fill out a prayer request. Every Wednesday night, we hold our community in prayer, and we would love to pray for you over a specific thing that you might be having trouble with. So with that being said, I just welcome you home. Welcome to CSL Leesburg, and I turn it over to Tamara, who's going to be doing the meditation.
Hello and happy Mother's Day. I picked out a special meditation in honor of Mother's Day. So close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, relax your body and your mind. This is a meditation of gratitude. In this meditation, I'm going to ask you to think of 10 people who have served as a mother figure in your life. Forget gender and recall people who demonstrated the divine feminine qualities of unconditional love, nurturing, caring, serving, and gentle guidance. I'm going to give you some examples. Just listen carefully before you begin to create your list. Your 10 feminine guides might have appeared in your life as teachers, professors, coaches, co-workers or colleagues, spiritual leaders, neighbors, aunts, cousins, friends, grandmothers, and perhaps your own mother. Now we are ready to begin. Make your hands into 2 fists and squeeze them tightly. Feel the tension building. And now I'm going to guide you. As you think of a person who served as a mother figure in your life, say that person's name silently and release a finger from your closed fist, like this. Recall another person and silently say their name and release another person from your closed fist. Continue until you have recalled 10 people who have served as a mother figure in your life. Notice that the tension is gone. Now move your hands together, palm to palm, in a prayer pose. Your life has been blessed by the divine feminine presence that has always been in your life. What a wonderful gift you have received. Happy Mother's Day to all. And now we will have some live music with Leah and a special guest, Jacob.
Yay! I'm so grateful today to be here with you and also to have one of my very favorite people in the world, one of my favorite people to sing with. This is Jacob.
Nice to meet you all.
This is actually a song that was inspired to be sung for my kids, and I'm learning that the message is reflective. The more I accept myself unconditionally, the more unconditional love I can have for them and for anyone else in my life. Let's see. Let's get a little closer today. Yep, I see that Charlene is communicating with us, and we're trying to optimize the sound. Is this any better? No, it was good before though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let me see what I might have changed that I can improve so that we sound more clear for you all. Give me just a second. Okay. Is this any better? You can't tell. Okay.
No, it's a little quiet.
Okay. I'm not sure.
Yeah, better.
Better? Okay, cool. Here we go. Just as you are without changing a thing. Just as you are, I accept you. I see you, I hear you, I welcome you in. Just as you are. Just as you are. Just as you are without changing a thing. Just as you are, I accept you. I see you, I hear you, I welcome you in. Just
as you are, just as you are.
One more time.
Just as you are, without changing a thing.
Just as you are.
Just as you are, I accept you.
Just as you
I
are.
see you, I hear you, I welcome you in. Just as you are. Just as you are.
Oh, thank you so much, Leah. It is always a joy to have you singing for us. And thank you for inviting Jacob to join you. That was beautiful. So today's title of our talk is Revolutionary Love. And I have to begin with a confession, because when I read the title of today's talk, I thought, what does that have to do with Mother's Day? When I think of revolutionary, I think of the Revolutionary War. And after I sing a few songs from Hamilton, I start thinking about a bunch of ragtag colonists who defeated the British military against all odds. Doing something against all odds. Well, that's a phrase that can definitely be applied to mothers. We often do things against all odds. When we need to do so, we can become fierce mama bears. Revolution is defined as a fundamental change in the way of thinking about or visualizing something. A change, a revolution in consciousness brings change not only to ourselves, but to the systems and the institutions that shape the experiences of all of us to create a world that works for everyone. When I was pregnant with John, I was very sick for the first trimester. So sick, in fact, that at one point the doctors were considering placing me in the hospital because I could not keep anything down. I was losing weight at an alarming rate. My first thought was, is the baby okay? The doctors assured me that the baby was just fine, but they were doing this to keep me nourished. And I was so relieved. I didn't care what was happening to me as long as the baby was okay. And this was a revolutionary change for me. It's the moment that I realized I was becoming a mother. I had a change in consciousness. My well-being was secondary. Welcome to motherhood, because that's what mothers do. That's what parents do. We put our children's needs first. Why? Because we are one. We are connected to our children. Within science and mind, there's a deep belief in oneness, for we are all children of the divine. We were all one. We are all interconnected. We are all interdependent. When we realize this deeply, love becomes a natural way that we relate to the world. Valerie Kaur is an American activist, award-winning documentary filmmaker, lawyer, educator, and faith leader. In her book, See No Stranger, a memoir and manifesto of revolutionary love, she writes, love is more than just a feeling or emotion. Love brings us into a relationship with ourselves, with others, and even with our perceived enemies. And through that, brings us into powerful ways of acting for people outside of ourselves. Doesn't that sound like mothers? She says that a huge problem that we're facing is not love or lack of love, but how we talk about love. When we think of love as an emotion, a rush of feeling, then it's fickle. We fall in love, we fall out of love. But love is all of the emotions. Joy is the gift of love. Grief is the price of love. Anger is a reaction to protect love. Wonder is the act that returns us to love. However, when we see love as just one emotion, then we make it too sentimental, too anemic to be a force of justice in this world. We need to redefine love. Revolutionary love is a choice that we can make over and over again. Love can be taught. Love can be modeled. It can be practiced. And we can use love in a revolutionary way. How can we love others, especially those who we see as different from us? Brain imaging studies show us that our minds divide the world into us and them in a matter of a second. And who we see as one of us determines who we feel empathy for, compassion for, who we stand up for out on the streets or on election day. However, we can learn how to love. We can train our minds to see no stranger. We can look at them and we can say, you are a part of me that I do not yet know. And how do we know them? Well, according to Valerie Kaur, we tend the wound. Contrary to what we believed as children, there are no monsters. There are only people who are wounded. They are insecure, in pain, motivated by greed, and as a result, blind to the need of others. They do not see the connection. They only see the separation. How can we tend their wounds? We listen to them. And when we do, we will hear their pain. We listen and we gather information on how to change the culture and the institutions of power. Let their wounds go untreated. We must also learn how to practice revolutionary love for ourselves by applying the wisdom of the midwife. Valerie Kaur tells us that we need to give ourselves the same love that we pour into others. Isn't that a wonderful message for Mother's Day? We need to give ourselves the same love that we pour into others. How? Breathe and push. Breathe so that we can push. Breathe. Care for yourself so that you can produce results. Put the oxygen mask on yourself first so that you can care for others who need you. Moms, leave the dishes alone and take a nap when your little ones take a nap so that you can be fresh and recharged when they awake. Take today off, but not just today on Mother's Day. Take time to nurture yourself from time to time. Don't wait for one day in May each year. This is a lesson I learned when my children were small, and it's a lesson that we all need to remember. Care for yourself so that you can care for others. It is through revolutionary love that we learn more deeply and we get to know each other. It is through revolutionary love that we are motivated fiercely to protect another, and we find our way back to one another. We find the connection with each other. It is through revolutionary love that we can learn how to love ourselves. Revolutionary love produces change. In the Bible, we are told God is love. God is love. There's an equal sign there. And God's love is like a mother's love. When I was pregnant with my second child, I had concerns like every expectant parent. Will John feel slighted? One day I explained to John that my love would grow bigger, just like my belly was growing bigger. My love would just expand. It wasn't like pizza, that if there's only 4 guests, each guest gets 1/4 of pizza. And if there's 8 guests, then the slices are much smaller. A mother's heart expands. It is abundant. The love I felt for him would not diminish. It would only grow. For now I would love him not only as a son, but also as a big brother. And that was so. It's revolutionary love. Michael Beckwith tells us there is a lie that acts like a virus within the mind of humanity. And that lie is there's not enough to go around. there's lack, and there's limitation, and there's just not enough. The truth is, there's more than enough good to go around. There's more than enough creative ideas. There is more than enough power. There's more than enough love. There is more than enough joy. All of this begins to come through a mind that is aware of its own nature. There is enough for everyone. If you believe it, if you can see it, if you can act from it, it will show up for you. And that's the truth. God is love. God is abundant. And there's more than enough for everyone. Today, so many mothers will receive flowers and gifts and cards and expressions of love. These material things are so important and greatly appreciated. But as I prepared today's message, I thought about the other gifts that my children have given me over the years. The other things that will last so much longer and mean so much more to me than the little pinch clay pot or the bracelet. John, I've always called him my baby Buddha. He came into this world with an inner peace and a divine wisdom from the very beginning moments of his life. He never speaks ill of anyone. He has always seen the divine in everyone. He constantly amazes me with his intuition, his empathy, and his wisdom. Many people say, what would Jesus do? There are times that I stop myself and I say, what would John do? He responds with kindness, compassion, and love. John has given me the gift of seeing how I can live a life, seeing the divine within everyone. Leanne, my second child, took my heart and she took my hand and she led me on my spiritual path. Mark Nepo tells us for every death, there is somewhere a birth. She only stayed in this physical world for a short time, but her energy is always present. Before her, I feared death. And she taught me that death is just an illusion. Her initials are LA, and she shows up all the time in my life. I feel her presence just when I need it the most. And I've come to call these postcards from LA. Have a great time, Mom. Wish you were here. Love you. The gift that she gave me is that she taught me that love lasts forever and that God is far more grand than anything I ever imagined prior to meeting her. Heidi, just as there are times when I say, what would John do? There are times when I say, what would Heidi do? Heidi from the get-go had chutzpah. This girl is a tiger. Never try to tell her that she can't do it because her response has always been, oh yeah, watch me. When God asks, can Kaya Heidi come out and play? There's a long pause. Heidi? Heidi? Where is she? The answer is she's already out exploring. At 2 years old, she was jumping off the diving board with no fear, amazing the lifeguards and terrifying her mother. She never let fear or doubt hold her back. She knows who she is, what she's here to do, and she makes a plan on how to create the life that she wants to live. She boldly shares her artistic talents with confidence. Heidi lives in faith. She is faith wrapped up in the most glorious package. Heidi's gift to me is that God is listening, Mom, and it's all good. I've learned so much from my children, and they have given me such wonderful gifts. The gifts of seeing the divine in everyone, the gift of a deep spiritual understanding of God's love, and the gift of living in faith and in an absolute knowledge that life is an adventure. So don't be afraid and don't hold back. Today, I invite you, take a few moments and think, what are the gifts that you gave to your own mother? What are the gifts your children and loved ones have given to you? I invite you to look beyond the flowers, the cards, the painted rocks, the macaroni necklaces, and all the other material gifts to see the divine purpose in all these sacred relationships. Revolutionary love, then, is when we bring science of the mind philosophy of co-creation and revolutionary leaps in consciousness together with the science of mind theology of oneness and interconnectedness and the natural love for all, for everyone that comes with that. Revolutionary love is bringing collective change through our love for one another. It is bold and that it asks us to act on behalf of ourselves, on those that we love, and even for those who we have not yet learned how to love. This revolutionary love is the great work of our lives, and the same work that brings us to the state of love, which is a direct experience of the divine. Every time we act through this revolutionary love, every time we are moved to love ourselves enough to say, enough is enough. Every time we love another enough to fiercely protect them, to fight for their dignity, to come into a deeper relationship with their struggle and their pain. And every time we allow the same love to bring us into a state of true wonder and curiosity with those we think are different from us, we are in a state of love. For God is love, and we are one with the divine. And now it's time to have our affirmative prayer. This is spiritual mind treatment. I'm going to check the chat and just see if there's any prayer requests. All right, just take a deep breath with me and go within as we celebrate the feminine presence that has guided us through our lives, brought us to this day, as we celebrate mothers today. There is only one universal life. Sometimes we call it God, Allah, Buddha, Muhammad, Mother Earth, Mother Nature, Gaia. There is nothing that stands between us. There is nothing else that is. It is the Alpha and the Omega. It is omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent. It is love, and it is everything that surrounds us and makes up us. It contains all knowledge. It is caring. It is giving. It is love. Knowing that this one life, this divine force exists everywhere, I affirm my oneness with it. And I claim that its qualities of love, kindness, wisdom, generosity are present within me. The love that I feel from this divine source pours into me and washes over me. It is so abundant that I can release it and I can share it with others. It is always in me. It is abundant. There is no end. Because of this love, I know that I am always safe and secure and guided in every way. I speak this word for myself with absolute peace, and I speak this word for everyone in this wonderful world, everyone who can hear my voice today, and for all the people who cannot. When I see things happening in the world that I can't quite understand, I know they are not the divine truth. Instead, I turn and I remember that it is all good. and it is all God. There is no disharmony. There is no disease. There is no ill will. Love. Love is all. It is more than an emotion. It is God. And so we know that everyone is loved and blessed and protected and safe because that all-knowing God, like a good mother, is always moving us towards our best and our highest good. I am so grateful for this amazing truth, for this understanding that God is always there, that love never ends. It is abundant. I breathe easily and I give thanks for all the good that is present. I release my prayer into the law with complete trust, knowing that as I speak, the entire universe is working to create good. It is all good. It is all God. It is all blessed. And so it is. And now we return to Leah, and I'm thinking Jacob will be with her, and enjoy the music.
So this is a song by Ricky Byers, and you're probably familiar with it. So I'd like to invite you to participate with us. It's a wonderful call and response mantra song. So if you're not familiar, just listen to either me or Jacob and pick a part. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me see in a holy, holy way.
Let me see in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me share in a holy, holy way.
Let me share in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me be in a holy, holy way.
Let me be in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me see in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me see in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me share in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me share in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me be in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me sing in a holy, holy way.
Let me sing in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me teach in a holy, holy way.
Let me teach in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me learn in a holy, holy way.
Let me learn in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me sing in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me teach in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me learn in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me dream in a holy, holy way.
Let me dream in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me give in a holy, holy way.
Let me give in a holy, holy way.
Let me receive in a holy, holy way.
Let me receive in a holy, holy way.
Yes, I will live in a holy, holy way.
I will live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me dream in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me give in a holy, holy way. let me love in a holy, holy way. Yes, I will love in a holy, holy way. I will love in a holy, holy way.
Woo! That was amazing. That was so great. I have to tell you, I felt a little bit of that. I felt I was back at Agape with Jacob's vibrato and Leah's going back and forth. I had my hands up. Whew, that was just very, 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 very blessing. And Tamara, thank you for such a message. It was just hit right home. So I shall share my screen. I just have a few things to share with you before I send you on your way. Lovely congregation. So the first thing is that in order to continue to provide these wonderful services and the things that we do all week, we would love for you to share your gifts with CSL Leesburg, because in turn, we share our gifts with the world as well. So whether your way of giving is through texting or through an app or through mailing a check, there are many paths to giving. And so we just embrace whatever path you choose to share from your overflow to ours. We really appreciate it. Visit our website at www.cslleesburg.org if you'd like to find out more. But in the meantime, I would love it if you took your gift, whatever it is, held it over your heart. And if you're like me and you just give and it just automatically goes, you don't have it in your hand at the time, just take your hand and put it over your heart. And close your eyes, or perhaps open your eyes and read out loud this blessing of our gifts. We say, the presence of Spirit within me blesses everyone I meet. It tends to heal everything I touch. This presence brings gladness into the life of everyone I contact. Therefore, I am a blessing to myself, to humankind, and to the day in which I live. Thank you for that. Speaking of weekly offerings, here's how some of your donations come right back into the community. Every Tuesday, myself and others get together and we discuss our dreams. Your dreams are talking to you in metaphor and in symbol. And what better way to discover what your subconscious, your higher self is trying to tell you than with your friends. So get together with your friends every Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. Just click on our link at cslleesburg.org, the Zoom link. It'll take you right into our dream study. That's every Tuesday at 9. Every Wednesday at 7 p.m., we do have our prayer and visioning. So we have a prayer circle. And in that prayer circle, we pray for one another and we do a little bit of visioning. So come join us online on Zoom on either one of those days. And it is now time to close this service, but we hope that you come join us for the after-service coffee hour, virtual coffee hour on Zoom. So if you're not watching on Zoom right now, go ahead and close out the Facebook and head on over to our website, cslleesburg.org. Click on the Zoom link and join us. We'd love to see your smiling face. In the meantime, I would like everybody to take your hand and put it over your heart and just remember that revolutionary love that Tamara spoke of. Just say to yourself, I am love, because it's the truth. Now open your eyes and look around. Do you see another human? Point at them and say, you are love. And if you don't see another human, point at yourself in the mirror, point at the camera, point at the other people in the Zoom room, because they are love too. Put your hands up and say, it's all love, baby. Have a great week. We will see you next week or earlier if you come meet us in one of our sessions. Bye, guys.